Hey friends, welcome to Post to Post. My name is Neil. Thank you for joining me today. On this channel, I love jerseys, and on the channel, I review jerseys, specifically jersey concepts, every single Friday. And it's the most favorite thing that I do on the channel. It's the thing I enjoy the most. It's what I look forward to all week. I love looking at jersey concepts, dissecting them, looking at the designs and the logos and whatnot, yada yada yada. But it's also the most frustrating part of what I do on the channel as well, because of the logistics behind it. It can just be so frustrating when I get a submission that just complicates my life, and I'll explain what that means. But the intention behind this video is to teach you how to properly submit your concepts, your artwork, to the channel to get reviewed. This is generally around jersey concepts, but the template that I'm going to provide you in the description also, if you design helmets, you can also drag a helmet in, or you could, it doesn't matter what it is. The template that I've created, which is what you're going to use to submit to me, is sized for 4K, and you can just drag in whatever you're drawing into that template. It doesn't have to be jerseys, but generally this is for jersey collectors. So I've got a little cheat sheet here for me because there's just so much. Okay, so the reason that there's a process to submit stuff instead of just emailing me a bunch of random files is because it is impossible for me to logistically and in a timely manner go through them properly. I work in a full-time job, and sometimes those are long hours. This is also basically a full-time job here on YouTube, and I just don't have, I physically and literally don't have the time to sort through a bunch of emails that just make my life more difficult. I have to streamline this process. And these are the most popular videos on the channel as well, and I don't want them to go away. So if I'm going to do this process, it has to be streamlined. It has to be as simple as possible for me to continue to do them. And it's just one little extra step, or maybe a couple little extra steps on your end to help me. So yes, you have to do a little bit more work. I have to do less work, so it's a little bit selfish, but the intention is the end product, the delivery to the viewer, to the fans out there who love jerseys as well, and just want to see the concepts, and it's about consistency. So that's really the ultimate goal, is to be consistent for the delivery of the video on Fridays. So, cheat sheet. Consistency, that was one thing, and delivery as well. So if it should generally look the same, and the template that maybe you're not aware of, but it has lots of stuff in it, okay? It's got your Instagram handle and your Twitter handle. It has places for you to add the team name. So it's supposed to look consistent, but it's also customizable for you to add your stuff. This is about looking at your artwork. You deserve the credit. There should be links, you should get credit to your Instagram and your Twitter or your portfolio or whatever you want to advertise. 100% fine with me. People, or the viewers, should be able to go find more of your work. That's literally the intention, is to support the community and get your artwork out there and just really have some fun with it. So the template has some options there for you to add your stuff, and that is, that helps with the delivery as well. So I said, yeah, it makes my life easier. So I'm just reading off my paper. It makes my life easier. So when I get, for example, this is the perfect scenario. I get an email, all the concepts are in one zip folder, or they're hosted on a Dropbox link or something, and I go to download them, and there's 32 jerseys for, we're just, NHL teams, 32 jerseys, or 32 files rather, that come in, and every single file name is named by team name, or preferably abbreviation. What I mean by that is Montreal is NTL, Calgary is CGY, Winnipeg is WPG. I'll put those all up on the screen later, but in a perfect world, that is the perfect submission, submitted with my template in the 4K resolution, but we'll talk more about that here in a second. If it's not any of that stuff, it complicates my life, especially when I'm getting 32 individual emails of every single jersey that come in, and the files are like 8K resolution. That's going to take me 30 minutes to resize all those files, download all those files. Each file is like 30 megabytes. That's an impossible task for me, and I'm just not going to look at your work. And I don't mean that to sound mean, but I literally don't have time to logistically deal with that. So I'm trying to remove as many frustrations of this process as I possibly can, to not only make it easier on myself, but to potentially do more of this. If this is a streamlined, easy process for me, maybe I can do it more than once a week, and that would be really fun. I want to talk a little bit about the templates that are acceptable. Sometimes people ask, hey, I made some concepts on an NHL 22 or NHL 21 or whatever the current video game is. And I'm like, no, I can't do that because of one specific reason. So I only accept templates that are extremely high resolution, like the sportstemplates.net. I think Orion Taylor has his own template that people use and send in. Typically, those are the two most popular ones because they're the most realistic. If I accepted any old template or NHL 22, I would literally have 50 plus submissions per month, and I only produce 4 videos per month. It'd be impossible. Then I'd have to, try and subjectively filter out which ones I'm going to do and which ones I'm not going to do. I have guaranteed that if you submit your concepts using the sports template or Orion's or any other really, really high quality template, then it will be reviewed eventually. Currently, there's a bit of a backlog because currently I get maybe 10 a month, between like 4 and 10 a month, and I only produce, like I said, 4 a month. So it's, there's a bit of a backlog there. There's about 30 in queue currently, but eventually your work will get reviewed, especially if I can streamline this even more, and it makes my life easier, because right now it is not easy. So yes, the easier it is, the more I can do, the sooner your work gets viewed. So you design your jersey, whatever template you're working in, and then once you have your jersey designed, then you can open up my template, and it's simple as dragging whatever you've designed and putting it in my template and resizing it. So my template is in 4K. That's what I film with, or that's what I film in. That's what I release the videos and upload them as 4K. And the resolution is that in my template for you to drag into, so I can take that file, like when you save that out and send it to me, it's still in 4K, and I can just throw it in Premiere and put it as a new layer right on top of my video, and it's already sized exactly like I need it to be, and I can just drag them in and just boom, boom, boom. It's so quick, okay? Right now, if I have to have one in 8K or whatever, or it's not my template, and I have to resize it, then I have to resize the first one, and then I have to copy and paste those settings basically onto every single file or iteration after that. So it's a process, and it's really annoying. So again, just trying to streamline this. So you drag your template or your jersey concept into my template, and then you save it. So you should save it as a transparent PNG. Do not save it as a JPEG, and I'm going to show you. So actually, I'm just going to bring up one image, and this is the actual template that I made. So there's no jersey template in here. It's just the template that you would use to bring your jersey concept into. So you can see off to the right, there's a section there where it's got your name, or company name, or designer name, whatever it is, your Twitter handle, your Instagram handle, and then enter your team name at the bottom. So that could be, if you're doing the NHL, it could be the Montreal Canadiens. If you're doing the OHL, maybe it's it's an Ontario Hockey League team. It doesn't really matter. These don't need to be NHL specific. You can choose any league that you want around the world, and then you just drag it in, change the settings. Right now it's about, I don't know, like a 60-40 split. 60% of my stupid face on the screen versus 40% of the concept. But jersey concepts are very vertical. They're not horizontal, so they don't need a bunch of horizontal space. That's why I've made that section a little bit smaller. If you're designing goalie helmets or maybe something that requires a little bit more space, you can adjust this template. You can make it a 50-50 split. That's totally fine with me. But I have it set up currently to support mostly of what I'm going to be receiving when that's going to be jersey concepts. So, and if you want to make that text smaller, make your jersey concept bigger, that's totally fine with me as well. This is just a general template for you guys to use. So you can see the layers on the right-hand side and yada, yada, yada. And that's a blocky section off to the left. If you're not familiar with Photoshop, that just means it's a transparent section. And that will remain transparent if you save it as a PNG. And I'll show you what that looks like right now. So this is what it will look like if it's saved as a PNG. This is what it will look like if it's saved as a JPEG. That section that's in white, that is not transparent. JPEGs are flat. PNG, JPEG, PNG, JPEG, okay? Save it. Please save it as a transparent PNG. Very easy to do. Even if you're new to Photoshop, very easy. File, save as, select PNG, done. Okay, super easy. Now, you don't have to do this, but it would be just an extra step that would make my life super, super easy. When you save the file, if it's a Montreal Canadiens jersey concept, make the file name the abbreviation for the team name, or at the very least, put it Canadians. So for Montreal, it's MTL. For Calgary, CGY, like I said earlier, Toronto, TOR, Washington, WSH. So I'm going to put those all up on the screen so you can see them. Write them down if you'd like. They're also available online. I think the NHL website has them and stuff. Some teams like Columbus, some people don't use a Columbus CBJ. They use, I don't know what they use, but it doesn't have to be perfect, but the ones I put up on the screen are the ones that I use, the ones that are official with the NHL. It would be cool if you guys could use those as well. I know this is coming across as like a dictatorship, and I'm really sorry that it's coming across like that. I know it is, but I have to make this video because I want to keep doing these videos, but I don't want to become becoming frustrated. I don't want this to turn into a job, because right now it almost is kind of turning into a job. It's causing me some frustrations. So so once you get all those files saved out, each file should generally be, I don't know, between like 4 and 6 megabytes. So 32 times whatever that is probably not, you probably can't fit all that in an email. So throw those all into a zip file, put them on Dropbox, host them on Dropbox. Dropbox is free, up until 2 gigs, I think. So just make an account if you don't have one, super easy. Put it on Dropbox, create a share link. Don't share it with my email. Create a share link and then send me the link. Or there's WeTransfer, I think, as well, or iCloud. So there's different platforms where you can use to host your files and then send me a download link. Or if it can attach as one thing, it can fit, in the email, please do that. Don't upload it to Google Files and share it with my email, because my email, which is productions@postableshow.com, is not associated with a Google account. So I can't authenticate and log into the Google server or whatever it's called to get those files. So don't use Google if you can help it, please. Okay, so that's basically it. I'll run through that again real quickly, but I wanted to give one tip. If you're changing the background in the template, try to consider using a subdued color or no color, or some kind of scene in the background that's not mimicking the exact same color that's on the jersey. For example, I'll throw this one up here. This is a concept that was done by ZB Concepts. Really cool design, actually. I like this jersey, but the background shares essentially the same color as the jersey, and I just find that it just kind of really detracts from the jersey itself. And I would prefer the background to be like a gray or a white or a black or whatever. I want the jersey to stand out. I want to give it its best chance to succeed, and I don't think it's getting that here. No offense to ZB, like this was just one specific one from his concept. Not all of them look like this. They were, there's only like 2 or 3 in his set that kind of look like this. So I just want to put that tip out there. You don't have to do that, but I would just prefer that, just to have maybe a little bit of a subtle background and have the jersey be the primary colorful aspect of what's going on, so I can really, review it and get the best chance for it to succeed. Recap. Create your jersey in Photoshop or Procreate or however you design your jerseys using the sports template. And by the way, sportstemplate.net. Use code post2post, save yourself 10% if you want to get the jersey concept or the jersey template on there. That applies to all the other concepts or templates on there as well. Like I said, the Orion Taylor one, take your design, finish them, 32 of them or whatever it is, pull them into my template, make sure they're sized properly, enter the info for all of them, save them as transparent PNGs with the abbreviation for the team name, put them in a zip folder, send them to me. It's a frustrating process. I don't deny it, and I'm sorry that you have to do it, but I promise you, the consistency of delivery will be great for the viewers. It makes my life way easier, and it also gives you a consistent way to get your work out there, advertising through your Twitter or your Instagram or your portfolio, or like I said, whatever you want to advertise. I'm totally fine with that. The delivery, if it's consistent every single Friday, it's just going to be the best experience for the viewers and make my life easier, allow me to do more of them, to show more of your guys' work. And because I love the jersey community. Like, you guys are awesome. I love all your designs. It's really incredible to see your artwork and progression of designers as well. I've received sets from designers first time, and it was like, not too bad. There's some really good ones in there. Months down the road, they do a different set for a different series. It's like, well, okay, there's some improvements there. And now some of these designers are sending in their 4th or 5th full sets, and they're awesome. Like, the progression of talent and stuff is incredible to see. And I've seen it multiple times with multiple designers who've sent stuff in. So I love the community. I love looking at your work. I just want to make it easier on myself. And unfortunately, that does require you to do a few extra steps. But I think it's worth it in the long run. Now, this process is going to change again, hopefully later this year. Either summertime, probably at the earliest. I'm developing a new system for submission. That's really all I'll say, because I don't know the logistics behind it. But it will be easier than it is now, I promise. So I think that wraps everything up here on my thing. Yep. So if you have any questions, please let me know down below. I will do my best to answer any of your questions down below in the comments section. I'm sorry that you can't use NHL 22, that you can design jerseys on there and stuff. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't accept 50 a month. It just doesn't make sense. And I need to look at the best quality I possibly can. That's why I don't really do any hand-drawn ones. We've looked at some hand-drawn logos, which is awesome, but not really jersey concepts. So I apologize to the designers maybe who can't get Photoshop or who can't, don't have a computer that can run Photoshop. And I know that's frustrating, but I need to consider the delivery or the process. It needs to be consistent. And that's really what I want at the end of the day. So I appreciate you so much for taking the extra steps to do that. I know it's an annoying process, like I said, but I just want you to know I really, really appreciate you doing that. And I think, at the end of the day, the viewer wins because they get a consistent delivery. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm rambling now. And yeah, I feel bad for asking you guys to do more work, but I don't know any other way to do this logistically. I'd have to quit my job or something. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys in the future, every Friday, especially. Adios.